Hello and welcome to this week's Kabbalistic Astrology, the world's weekly forecast. This is Matt Taylor and my name is Nicola Arcorani, and we speak about the weekly world astrology forecast, so like what's going on in this week with the planets, etc. And we give you some spiritual tools. We give you also some ideas how to deal with these energies. What can they do for you in order to link up to the higher realms of energy, because there's always a duality of things. There's the good and the bad, and we want you to have the good influences of it. So that's what we do every week. Hi, Matt. How are you this week?
I'm great. Even just hearing your introduction raises my vibration. You're always like
it's Monday. No, I love
good
Monday.
energy on the Monday. Yes, brings me up a little bit. Yes, it's so good. I'm very well. Yes, well. Yes and no. Winter for me, I know many people love it, but winter for me is always a bit of a harder slog, the energy. I've got to push a little bit more. I find it the week's very repetitive. There's no real holidays, and every weather is the same and people are wearing the same colors and we're doing the same things. Repetition and structure and is good. There's nothing wrong with it, but I struggle with it. I need a little bit of blue, yellow.
Funny, this morning.
I think in Switzerland it's a bit different. No, you guys
it's not.
You're same colors and you're very quiet and everything is serene and lovely. But I need some bounce. I need some Spanish energy,
Yeah. No, here it's very gray, very repetitive, very I can we have the luxury that we sometimes can go up to the mountains and get above the weather.
Oh, that's nice.
Really nice. But I don't do that. So Bettina this morning, she was like, oh my God, the whole week it's this gray weather and I really don't like it. And I was like, the good thing is we will only be here until Thursday, and then we will be in Florence. And in Florence, the sun is shining. So good for
amazing. So enjoy it where you can. And also, we know that the winter months are Capricorn and Aquarius, which are very different energies, but they're both ruled by Saturn. So Saturn gives you that heavier, work and structure and building and earning feeling. So it's a push a little bit, but it's a good push, and I just have to push. Keep pushing, as they say. Keep pushing.
Taurus, and as a trauma therapist, I think I do this going into the depth of the shit and really working through blogs, and I'm so used to that interesting enough, it really doesn't bother me at all. I don't even see the weather. I just don't care. I'm or I just don't I wear the white clothes and the colorful the crystals. Today I have a rainbow mala, which I love. Nice. I have a rainbow around my neck. I mean, amazing. So what can you do wrong with that?
It's beautiful, no?
Yeah.
You need to do something like this, For me, I need to go outside and I can't wear blacks and I can't wear
no.
I can't do that. And it's so popular in Europe to wear dark colors.
Yes, no, but don't do that. No. That's why people feel like that, because wearing black attracts the negative emotions. It's you're basically a black hole absorbing everything around you. Thank God so many people wear black in Europe. So it's divided by everyone, but black absorbs. It's a lot of people think, and when I was young they said oh, black is really good for boundaries and setting boundaries. Not at all. Black really attracts, and black absorbs emotions, negative emotions. So if you wear black a lot and you have emotional instability, meaning you have moods and you have mood swings and you're not stable in your emotional body, stop wearing black. The lighter you wear, the more reflective it is, the less that's why doctors wear white. They never wear black. That's why they do that. So that's why
you think about the people that do more emotional or deep work. It's artists and musicians, right? They're coming from that really darker place, or that deeper place in human psyche, it's interesting how that manifests.
Also designers, they need
design
the collective energy in order to design what wants to be seen. But I mean, these are troubled souls very often, like very troubled. They're not stable. They're very eccentric. They're very very creative and very that's what we say. Oh yeah, he's a creative or she's a creative. Not very stable. But if you want to be like, I used to work in corporate. And in corporate jobs, you really have a lot of black. People wear a lot of black. If you work corporate, wear dark blue. Dark blue is protective. Black is absorbent. So like whoever wears the dark blue suit, the dark blue dress, the dark blue stuff is still very professional, but you are protected. Whether when you wear the black one, you absorb the energy in a room. And like everything in corporate is very like, there's a lot of passive aggressive energies there. Like in meetings, like people try to not be responsible for shit, so they play these games like back in the days in the when there was a king, and then there was a whole area in kings and queens, all of that, like people on in the, what do you call it, like the place where a king lives, castle. People that used to work in the castle, they tried to be as close to the king as possible, and there were all these charades being played and all this drama, and it's the same in corporate today. Like I did that for 20 years, so like it's a game. It's who has the alliances to the king or to the king's closest disciples, and who like plays the game.
You see it. You don't even have to go there. You can see it in spirituality sometimes.
Yes, same.
They're trying to get closer to the teacher, or they're trying to get closer to, I'm doing more than you, and it's a lot.
I'm more of a than you are, or no, I'm oh no, I don't eat meat, or I do eat meat, or I don't wear makeup, or you do, like all of that. There's like Gerd Juggett used to call this spiritual chauvinism. And I love the expression of it. Like, oh, you're a spiritual chauvinist. Like, spirituality should be very free. Matt once sent me a book. It's called God Wears Lipstick Too. And it's a Kabbalistic book. And I really love the title. I love the book. It's like such an inspiration. And like, you do you. That's what I say to all my clients, or people that want to come to yoga and they're like, oh, but I don't have white clothes. I don't care. You can wear whatever you want. Come as a rainbow, dress up as a unicorn. I really don't care. You do you. Feel the best as you can with whatever clothes you have. Like, but wearing black really, just to be very clear on that, you absorb emotions of the room, of the place that you are, if you want to do that. And if you are able to use those emotions for something creative, good for you. If you want to have more emotional stability, don't wear black.
Yeah, I think so. And it ties in with the astrology, actually, because, we're in winter, we're in more black anyway, which is pushing us into ourselves. So the autumn months are about letting go, about not holding on. We see that in nature. It's about letting go of fears in particular, is the autumn months. And when we go into the winter, we're really going into our pain and our suffering. And pain and suffering are different. So pain is not an option. Like, we need to go through certain pain as spiritual people in order to elevate those sparks of light that exist within it. But we don't need to suffer. In other words, we don't need to hold on to it for years. We don't need to see blockages and think that nothing's for us. There's a difference kabbalistically between the energy of pain and suffering. So pain can be an energy that propels us forward, or that we can grow from, or that we can detect that there's something in our system that we need to transform. Or we can suffer in that, which means I'm going to hold it and use it for attention, or use it as excuses, or use it as, poor me, victim consciousness. So that's the subtle difference. So here, as human beings, we are spiritual human beings. We are experiencing pain, and that is the winter month. It's pushing us into what is our particular pain on our journey that we have volunteered to transform. And during the month of Aquarius, which is the month that we're in, we get a chance to, what the Kabbalists call, defy gravity. In other words, gravity is a negative force. In Kabbalists say that the idea of gravity is a code or a negative force. Why is that? Because it pushes us down, it pushes us in, right? The soul wants to grow, it wants to elevate, it wants to transform, it wants to be beyond logic, it wants to be beyond forces, external forces, right? So we call this the desire for the self alone, when we're very much into our own world, into our own selves, into our own negativity, into our own like push down, like all the bad things about me, all the terrible things, all the things I'm not good at. This is a desire for the self alone. Those things exist, but we are here to be healthy about it. We are here to say, yes, I have that, and this is what I'm going to work on in this reality, right? We are not making movies about our pain. I'm a bad person. I didn't make right choices. How did I get here? I'm not going to have a good life. All of the movie associated with pain really is like what the Kabbalists are saying is the desire for the self alone. And the soul has a desire to share, right? It's an altruistic external force that goes out. So in the month of Aquarius, we really get a chance to push against all of the pain that we're trapped by, right? We get a chance to be free of it. And no more so than in the full moon of Aquarius. The full moon of Aquarius is also not just any old full moon, not that there really isn't any old full moon, there's always something brilliant about them. But this one is a little bit more brilliant because it's the beginning of the process for the vegetable kingdom, the plant kingdom. So the Kabbalists state that there are 4 kingdoms within this reality: the inanimate kingdom, which is the rocks, the crystals, the whatever is in the ground, your dirt and all of that. Then you have vegetables and trees and fruits. And then the 3rd kingdom is animals. And then the 4th kingdom is humans. And each one has a kind of birthday. In other words, a kind of moon-orientated day of the year where there are process resets. So all of these 4 kingdoms have sparks of soul. So that in this full moon, the sparks, all of the vegetable, plant, tree kingdom receives all of its new spiritual energy for the next year. Wow. So it's called Tu B'Shvat, which is like the new year for the whole of the plant, vegetable, tree kingdom. So it's very special. So for humans, it's the first day of Libra, the new moon of Libra, which we call Rosh Hashanah, which means head of the year. For the plant kingdom, it's for the animal kingdom, it's the new moon of Virgo. Mm-hmm. And for the inanimate kingdom, it's actually the full moon of Aries, which we know as Pesach or Easter, right? Which is always interesting about, that Jesus actually, was in a cave and then, transforms out of that dirt comes back, right? So there's a lot of things there. So here we get a chance to tap into the energy of the plant kingdom or the tree kingdom or whatever you want to call it by. And one of the things about it is that trees are showing us a number of things about spiritual process. One is they defy the gravity. They keep growing. So a tree always goes against gravity. It always keeps growing. Yes, every year it gets bigger. There's no limit. Now, maybe it's a blade of grass and it's going to get a little bit longer, or maybe it's a really big tree, but they're all still going to get a little bit bigger, right? They don't stop with that. That keeps going. Of course, if we cut it, it does, but naturally, its organic process, it never stops growing. It never stops defying the gravity. And so here we get this possibility, which is what Aquarians, if you know them, they're all about that, right? They want to do different things. They want to be outside the box. They're quirky. They don't want to be held in. They want to be free, right? That is inside them. That is their nature, is to defy all the things that, are limitations. That's what part of their energy is. They energize things out of reality. So it's an interesting month to really push against all the things that we feel limited by, to push against all of the things that we think are like limited belief systems or limited existence or behaviors or beliefs and thoughts, and all of that are really a chance for us to defy that gravity or to go against that nature. So here, spirituality is, we get a great clue in Aquarius about being free of our limited nature to really grow. And one of the things that was really interesting about what the Kabbalists reveal is that for every illness in a human being, there is a medicinal nature somewhere, in a medicinal opportunity somewhere in nature to heal that. Yeah. So the plant kingdom really provides a lot of medicinal healing from us, even just by existence. It also provides restriction. In other words, this is why the plant kingdom cleanses the environment, because it restricts, it rebalances the environment for us. So humans are not particularly clean existent. They can be, they've got the potential to be, but we demonstrate that quite a lot, that we're not particularly clean things. But the environment is cleansed out by the nature. Yeah. So it's what we see now in the age of Aquarius is really this big concern about having enough nature to keep in balance the system, right? And so when the systems are out of balance, we get a natural result that pushes us back into nature, which is partly the virus, right? We were flying too much, or being dirty too much, or whatever too much, using too much, and it pushes us back into a restriction. So how does that show in the process of a tree? So why is it only the fruit that is sweet and not the whole tree? So in the original tension of the creation of this universe, the creator made the plants in the tree all sweet, all edible. And the tree kingdom restricted on that and said, no, we only want the fruit or the vegetable or the result to be sweet. In other words, what we're seeing here is the process of growth, the process of transformation is a restriction, right? I have to go against my nature in order to manifest something sweet for me. I can't, in other words, I can't keep doing the same thing, expecting the same result. I have to transform somewhere in me my same old behavior patterns, my same old routines, my same old things. Now that the reason why the stem or the branch is not edible is because that's the restriction, that it's kind of difficult, it's kind of a push, it's kind of against nature, it's kind of against, all of the things that we need to go against. But the fruit being sweet and edible means that the result of that is coded as it's something that is good for us if we can restrict. So it's a great teaching, no?
There's a time for harvesting it as well. Like that's
yes, really seasons, right? Bring that
too. It's very interesting teaching. It's like what I also like. What I'm seeing within my clients, the people that come to yoga, etc., is at the moment this Aquarian full moon. What it did. Well, it's actually full moon in Leo, I guess, but
yes,
I always call it the Aquarian full moon. I don't know. I'm just like, we're in Aquarius, so it's it belongs.
Yes, no, you're more correct. Yes,
yes,
it's the full moon of Aquarius, it's just in Leo.
Yeah, and this full moon, like what I saw a lot, and what I still see is that it brings up a lot of like old emotions. Like it's a very emotional full moon, I feel. It plays in the emotional body for a lot of people. And I don't know, but I saw this very interesting interview of a psychiatrist, and he spoke about another psychiatrist from Hawaii that was hired to work with people that are in prison. And these people in prison, they have done horrible things. They had horrible things done to other people, to the planet, whatever. And he said he would work with these people, but in his own way. So what he did, he read the story of each and every single prisoner. And then what he did the Ho'oponopono ritual for every prisoner. So he didn't even meet them. He didn't look at them. He didn't meet them one-to-one. What he did was he read the story and he said, because I am a part of you and you are a part of me, a part of me is responsible for what you did as well. And he did this forgiving ritual, which is, I'm sorry. to that person that did something really bad, to each prisoner, he did that. Please forgive me for the part that I am responsible for in this whole thing. Thank you. And I love you. And they had amazing results with this prisoner. And so the prisoners started to heal. They started to become nicer. They started to become like, and over time, they become like very, very decent human beings, the whole prison. Like, and when you were talking about the plant kingdom that is now currently having its full moon, it's new, it's revival, it's receiving of the seeds. What I thought would be really nice is maybe to do the Ho'oponopono for all the plant kingdom, for all the vegetables, all the trees, all the, like all these, like, because this is what nurtures us as humans, right? Like, even if you eat meat, and even if you like eat chicken and like all of it, fish, whatever, like all these beings, like we all, the animal kingdom and us, we are receiving the nourishment from the plant kingdom. We tend to forget that, but this is like what it is. So why not doing the Ho'oponopono to the plant kingdom and say, I'm sorry for, like, a part of me is responsible for how we treat the plants. A part of me, because everything is a reflection, so a part of me must do something not so good, as what I like, must be a part of my responsibility. And so to say from the deep of heart, so I'm sorry and please forgive me.
I'm sorry and please forgive me.
Thank you. And then I love you. And like,
thank you. I love you.
Yes. And like, imagine if the new vegetables that grow this season are like just a tiny bit more nourishing, have a tiny bit more vitamins, are a tiny bit more spiritual, support our body in a tiny bit more healing, because we do that. Like, that would be awesome, no? Like, that would be quantum physics at its best.
Yes, to understand that it's so medicinal, isn't it? It's so healing. It's so, and even the color of it, the green color of it, is the color of green, right? It's healing. It's the
and there is this green.
It's the heart chakra, isn't it?
Yes, and it's healing. Healing energy is green. The heart chakra is green. By the way, prosperity, abundance, money is green. It's all green energy. And last week there was this green comet flying by Earth.
Oh, yes, it's true.
It's the first time in 50,000 years that the comet is passing us at the moment. So we have this green, super healing frequency available in the full moon of Aquarius.
Yes, it's interesting. I haven't looked at the chart, but one of the things that another Kabbalistic astrologer is saying is that where the planet, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, would be around the new moon of Aries.
Yes.
And at that point, the astrology will be the same as when Kabbalah was downloaded 5,000 years ago.
Oh my God, really?
So we're going into, I think, we really feel that, of course, I don't know if that means things will get like more challenging in order to reveal more light, or somehow we're going to be moving forward as we go after the new moon of Aries into really like this deeper healing kind of consciousness.
Oh, it definitely will be. It's the 23rd of March where it goes into Aquarius for like a couple of weeks. And I will be in the south of France at the Mary Magdalene Cave. So if anybody wants to join me, hit me up. Like, maybe Matt is there. It's very close to Barcelona. It's like a 2-hour drive from Barcelona where I will be. So maybe, we don't know. Maybe Matt will as well. And we could go into the Pluto going into Aquarius. I think you astrologers, like you guys, like cannot wait for that one, right?
No, it's very exciting.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
So just to like finish off on a few astrology points, but I think that's been fascinating. So we've talked about, we're in the lunar cycle of Aquarius, which is going against our nature. The full moon of Leo in Aquarius is like, the plant kingdom. It defies nature. There's a couple of like more astrology points here, the sun and moon are always opposite each other in a full moon, right? So whatever is opposite sign in the chart is where the full moon lays. And then if you go 90 degrees in this particular full moon, we have Uranus, which is one of the rulers of Aquarius, but it's square. And when we have a square, we always have old karmic tensions. It's like you've got to do actions, or there'll be something that is very, I would say, like grating. You can feel like, oh, this is something not comfortable. I've got to do a push here, or we have free will and do nothing about it. But usually if you're feeling something, you need, as I said, in Aquarius, it's an opportunity to break through. You have to push through the blockage. You have to go through the discomfort. And that's what Uranus brings. Uranus always brings that discomfort, the sudden, I've just pulled the rug from underneath your feet, and now you feel destabilized. Now, I just had a look at earthquakes today. It's a website. And we see in the news that there's an earthquake in Turkey and Syria today, just on that border, and it's just over 5 on the Richter scale. But I had a look at earthquakes today.
7.8.
Oh, right. Yes, it's going up maybe. But
yeah.
I had a look on the earthquakes today, and there's actually 9 countries with earthquakes over 5 on the Richter scale. That, so Uranus brings that, and because Uranus is in Taurus, which is always about this destabilizing the earth system, such as weather, earthquakes, finances, all of that, then you can see now that this is a reflection that something in us is destabilized. But in order to break something of a limited nature in us, we need to be uncomfortable. We need to be out of the box. We need to, shake ourselves up a little bit, not be in the comfort zones, not be in the limitations, step out of it. And this is what the next few weeks we will see, but it's already being triggered, so earthquakes are about like being destabilized. But what's the point of that? For more anguish? We got to go out of the comfort zone. And Taurus, the negativity of Taurians is they get comfortable. They're not in there. They've got to move themselves, right? Which we all have something. So, but I'm just using what we have in the astrology. But so Uranus is pushing us in Taurus. It's pushing us out of our comfort zones. And particularly it does that through weather systems and earth systems by making them very volatile and extreme. Yeah. So here coming in with this energy is another clue for us to really uproot ourselves from comfort zones and grow in a way that is beyond our limitation, beyond the forces that keep us in. And just a couple of other things, and then Nicole, you might want to comment on them. So the other thing is that we have a moon trine Jupiter. Moon is always the internal nature, and Jupiter is about expansion, and trine is where things come easy. So there's a supporting energy here of where I can grow if I'm really connected into my GPS system, my internal landscape of the moon, and like where that's guiding me. Jupiter helps me expand. Jupiter in Aries is all about where I inner grow. So we know what we need with this energy this week. We know where we need to grow. We know where we need to expand. It gives us the clue, but we need to take the step. Yeah. So we need to do an action, if either in the past week or this week, that really like frees us from something that we're very concerned about, that moves us on, that just like cleanses something out of our nature. The Venus square Mars is the comfort zone. Venus is the areas we fall into addictions or attachments. And Mars is the area where we get like a bit obsessed or a bit angry or a bit volatile. So again, we have this volatility in the material systems as a square. Yeah, it's shaking us out of where am I attached to things in this material reality? Where are my attachments? Yeah. And so that can be emotional attachments, but particularly with a Venus energy, it's material attachments. Where have I got to let go? Where have I got to like release myself from the things that I'm attached to, the things that I depend on, the things I can't live without, the things that I think I need, all of those things. It's good to have, but we don't want to be attached. That's kind of the energy of the week.
Would you say that for the people at home that are listening to our podcast, so they can understand where their possibility of growth and expansion, this moon trines Jupiter, would you say that if they look in their own chart and they see, for example, my moon is in Pisces, and Pisces is spirituality, is
compassion, kindness, spirituality.
Would you then say that a person like me, moon in Pisces, has their growth potential with this trine with Jupiter in this sector? Would that be
yes,
to assume?
it's right. The moon is one in the same. So the moon is like the spiritual system, like what spiritually I bring, what my true soul wants to share inside of me. But then also it on the challenge of the moon, it's also where I'm emotionally about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if someone has a moon in Scorpio.
That's right. So if they have a moon in Scorpio, then they're very intuitive, very able to go deep into things and be able to see beyond the material world and, really navigate into darkness and bring out light. They can really be great friends, great counselors, great advice, people that can really go in deep.
Jupiter would have more of that.
Right. So more of that. And then a moon in Scorpio, that would be fears and holding on, right? That's their challenge. So that's right. So look at where you hold on in the material world to soothe your fears and work on letting the fears and the attachments go, right?
Yeah.
So that is an example. Yeah. Amazing. So they're one in the same, there's a challenge and the
talent
solution are coming together. We always get this message. Kabbalah, right?
So if you want to do something at home, what you can do is Google where is your moon. You can do that on astro.com, or you can anywhere where you can find a horoscope. You can find where your natal moon is in, and then you read about the sign that the natal moon is in, and then you can see where is your challenge and where is your gift. And with moon trining Jupiter, you can see where can you put in your spiritual work. What can you, for example, journal about, or what can you because interesting enough, yesterday on the full moon, I had this deep feeling of I needed to connect deeply to the next 3 months travels that I do. I have decided to my travels, I do them for my spiritual growth, it's like a pilgrimage, a yatra that I do. I go to several different places and I want to receive what I have left there in past lives. So yesterday I was going deep into these places that I visit, like the Venus of Botticelli and the Vatican in Rome and Pompeii, and I went into a deep dive in the Mary Magdalene lineage and in the south of France and Lourdes and all of that, and Rosslyn's Chapel in Edinburgh, where I will go as well. So to go into a deep dive spiritually and see, okay, this is the layout that I have for the next couple of months, and where can I receive? So this was my job that I did. And maybe for you, it's something different. Maybe it's you're more to journal, you like more to experience something, create art with this intention, etc. So this is how we can use the planets for own
a few clues.
Yeah, a few ideas.
Exactly.
How I do it, how I try to harvest these energies, and if not, you can book a session with Matt, which is always a great idea. He has these magical meditations that you can do with him. It's like bomb. So you should maybe do that one as well. Yeah. So that is that.
Very sweet. Yes.
Great healer, great therapist, great. Ooh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Great pleasure to be. Yeah. It's I think I was teaching yoga last week, and on Saturday, I always do the first Saturday a month, a live class, an in-person class in Zurich. And it was so nice because we were this time over 20 people. And
I saw on your photos.
Five men came to I was so happy.
usually Kundalini yoga is always women, 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 women. And now there are demands starting to come, and there's no difference anymore between men and women. You know, there's like this open, they're men, they're so open-minded and so receiving the Aquarian experience. And it was so beautiful. I really loved it. And I loved this community. Yeah, it really changed the shit here around.
It's very good now.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I think that is that for this week, right?
See, it's a lot.
Ah, it was a lot. Yes.
It's a lot.
So,
it's a lot.
try
Enough.
it's enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting go of physical attachments and getting into the expansion of your Jupiter.
Yeah, trying something new, out of the box, something different, breaking yourself free, getting out of the comfort zone, not being attached, just really going for it in something in a new way. Yeah.
Totally. We love you very much. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Yes.
I saw we're like so many on YouTube now.
We are.
More and more. I love
more and more.
This is so good. Hello, YouTube community. We're so happy that you're here. We never really addressed you so far. We really suck at this, but we're getting better all the time.
We kind of think it's just the two of us talking when we're doing the recording.
We forget that people are listening to this.
That's right.
It's so good. If you have questions, please DM us on Instagram, send us emails. We are not really good in answering the YouTube one. I try to get better in that, I promise. Sometimes people comment and I really suck at answering comments. I have to start to do that, but I don't have it. It's not yet in my mind, but I'm trying to get better in that. So
good It's out of your comfort zone.
Day, you guys. Have a good day.
I'll see you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
Bye.